Hi everyone. In light of the events, I guess, that have went on YouTube over the past couple of days, I figured I would chime in and, I guess, put in my little 2 cents on what cyberbullying is and how cyberbullying has, affected me negatively. And I would love, if Alice Fairy in the Forest, if I would love if you could, or wanted to, if you would like to do a video response to this with me, I would love that. If you don't, that's fine. You don't have to. Just a thought. Anywho, I mean, for my generation, I would have to say, um, I've had the internet probably about over 16 years. So most of my growing up life, had the internet, had a computer, and even back in the day when not everyone had the internet, you had cyberbullying through IM, cyberbullying in the days when you couldn't figure out who the hell was behind that screen name, calling you a name, calling you ugly, say you had a big nose, saying a lot of other nasty things that I don't really necessarily want to mention on the channel, but pretty bad words. I'm sure you could figure it out. Nowadays it's a little easier to figure out who's behind something or who's behind a screen name because more information is, like Cat 4011 has said, it's easily tracked, so it's a little easier to find out. But, back in my day, you had somebody IM you and say you did this and this and this and that in school today, and you're like, who's this? And you try to figure out which one of your friends, is the one making fun of you, is the one saying things, and that becomes the difficulty about cyberbullying. I mean, cyberbullying affects so many people, affects so many lives. You have so many of these young kids killing themselves over cyberbullying, and it really is just the saddest thing because young kids today really can't differentiate that difference between the digital life and your real life, where your digital life really should have no effect on your real life and your personal life, but somehow, because we're so attached to technology and we're so attached to our digital things and our phones and our computers and our MacBooks and our Facebook and yada yada yada, we're so attached to these things that these things have become so intertwined that they've become our life and become so much part of our life that we kind of forget on what it means to pick up a phone and call your friend and say, how you doing today? No, we just pick up our BlackBerry and send a BlackBerry message, or we pick up our iPhones and FaceTime them, which is great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, that technology has, opened up so many doors for our servicemen and women so they could see their families, see their kids, and watch their babies grow up, while they're fighting for our country and things like that. And in respect to that, I think it's wonderful. But in respect where people use it to hide behind a screen to do something that they wouldn't normally do on a daily basis. You wouldn't go up to your friend and be like, oh, I think you're ugly. I think you have a big nose. You wouldn't go up to your friend and be like, oh, so and so doesn't like you, and so and so doesn't want to go out with you, or just dumb, petty high school bullshit. And don't think that even in college that the shit doesn't still go on, because it does. I mean, even all through my college years, shit still went on. Even after college, after I graduated college, shit still went on. But, I finally got to the point where I was like, you know what? Really, honestly, who gives a shit? Who cares, what you think? You really have nothing better than to do to sit behind a screen to pick on me to say something, or, to call me out on something. Then, you know what? If I find out who you are, then, I will, do what I can to obviously, make sure that you can't do that again. You can't do that to other people. And if I can't, then, I just make sure that I know and I could find out who that person is. So, obviously, for next time, be careful who you trust, and don't necessarily count on, everybody being your friend and everybody, because a lot of people, can be phony and act like they love you and act like they care, but then they don't really care. And, you know, a lot of times most of us can really kind of go by our gut by that, for who cares and who really doesn't care. And I'm sure, you know, a lot of us have that in our lives. But I guess lately, you know, in recent years, you know, since I graduated college, I kind of realized that all the petty bullshit that went on the internet, that's probably still somewhere on the internet, you know, in the end, you know, as much as it matters, obviously, you know, when you go for a job and things, sometimes that stuff can surface. Yeah, that's bad. But, you know, in the scheme of things, you know, does it really matter? Does it really matter? You know, the person that really sat behind the computer that was so fueled with hate, that really had nothing better than to do to say things about me or something I did that day or whatever the case may be, that you really hate yourself that much that you need to project that hate onto other people, really is just a sad thing. And alrighty, I guess I'll make this short, and I just wanted to say my piece on that. Anyone who wants to post a video response, you're more than welcome to. You know, if not, you know, just leave a comment. If any of you have been cyberbullied, you know what it means, and you know what it does to you, and you know how it affects you. And my dog is barking. Why the male is here. So I guess what I want to say is, if it's happened to you and you know how it's affected you, what will you do then in turn to do something nice for someone today on the internet? Give a friend that you haven't spoke to a compliment. Say hi to a family member. Give a quick email to someone you haven't spoke to in a while. You know, give a shout out to your grandma and grandpa. All right. Have a good day, everyone.